and be that expert to guide them to home ownership. So what it boils down to is treating leads like they matter. And so I haven't listened to any of these calls. So I'm going to try to keep this as raw as possible. So that means that we're going to get feedback for us as a company, and we're also going to give feedback for our agents. Andres, what have you noticed before I start playing this? What have you noticed in some of these live calls that that agents have really just kind of tanked the deal?
Well, some of the things I've noticed is they dive into what are you looking for. Let me see. I can put you a list. Let me put that list together, confirm some of the information I have, or diving into selling themselves, and they hang up the call right after that. They talk about themselves, the agent's point, or they talk about the type of property that they want, and then can I follow up with you at some point? Uh, and there's no relationship building in that first call, which is a key component, just like you mentioned. And I want to bring that back a little bit to something we also talk on Tuesday. Building relationship. We all have objections, even ourselves. When we go somewhere, we have objections when people approach us about selling us something. We're walking in the mall, we're walking in the store, and someone is selling something, and they approach us. We have a wall already set up. Our subconscious have a wall, and the leads that we are calling to, that we're getting introduced, you got to think about them in the same capacity. They have a wall. In order for us to be able to connect with them, we got to take that wall down. And approaching that call with just talking about us and who we are and what they're looking for, we're not necessarily doing a great job at taking that wall down.
And taking that wall. When you say taking that wall, could you expand on that?
Yeah. Why are they here? Yes, they have interest in buying and learning more about the real estate, but why exactly are they here? What is their motivation about buying a home? Talk about them. You know, who are they? So far, you just have a name and a contact information, but who are they really? You know, what is their life? Talk about them. Make it about them. Learn a little bit about them, their family, their history, and then you start diving into the specific of real estate and what the reason they're on the phone for. Uh,
Yeah.
because if you dive straight into it, I think everybody's going to be a little skeptical about sharing certain information with a stranger, no? Someone they don't know, someone that knows nothing about you. Um, you're going to have a guard about sharing certain information. And I think we got to bring that down by first diving into who that person is, you know?
That's exactly right. If you don't have rapport, if you don't have that side by side, you're side by side with them, you're working with them, they see that you are in alignment with them. They almost view you as a friend, not as a customer service, rep. Then that's where the real conversation happens. That's where the real change happens. That's where the real connection happens. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because the two things that I see over and over again, and I'll say this for all of the cloud agents, but if you have an assistant that's doing this for your leads, then you if you have a recorded system, you need to make sure that you're not spending the majority of your time confirming details, and the majority of the time is actually spent building relationship, building rapport. For example, I've listened to thousands of call reviews, and I've heard so many times where the prospect is on the phone for maybe 8 minutes, 2 minutes with us, and then 6 minutes with our agent. And 4 of those 6 minutes is spent, how do you spell your last name? How do you spell, was that a C or a B? Was that Yahoo or Gmail? What was that, Outlook? Was it, and just going over those like minor details instead of actually just focusing, like you said, Andres, on being present in the moment and establishing yourself as someone who cares about what the hell they're wanting to do. They're wanting to purchase a house. And so we're going to listen to this. That's going to be the first area of feedback I'm going to call on. Our agent is not here, so we can get straight into the small hinges that can swing big doors, okay? I'm going to press play. Can you guys hear this okay?
Yep.
This call will be recorded for quality.
Hi, huge.
Okay, may I have who is this?
Good morning, sir. My name's Joe. Bill's assistant, chief of house in Texas. We're calling because you're looking for places in Fayetteville. Is that right?
Can you hear that?
Great. We're about to send you a list of.
Yeah, we can.
Confirm the city here looking for like 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Is that right?
Yes, sir. And what condition are you?
By the way, guys, I noticed in our pipeline, there's 43 in the transferred and scheduled column. So they haven't been categorized in the A, B, C, or D categories. So, Andres, when you have a check-in call, definitely talk about updating the pipeline because there's 43 uncategorized transfers.
It depends to what you're looking for because we have a lot of available homes in the market. It just depends on what your preference is.
Yes, sir. So let me send me out this. I'll take it from there.
Just wanted to ask you a quick question. Do you have specific areas or neighborhoods you'd like us to focus search on?
No, sir.
Okay, so anywhere in Fayetteville, right?
Yes.
And do you have a budget in mind?
What are these? Rental homes or rent homes or sale purchase?
For a business homes for sale.
These are homes for sale.
Right.
Yes, sir. I was looking, at the moment, I was looking for something to purchase. I have to get some more things.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next lead here. Because that was a rent to purchase. There we go.
This call will be recorded for quality purposes.
So, hello?
No problem.
Hi, hello. My name is Joe. Bill's assistant to South Jacob. We're calling because you're looking for places in Fayetteville. Is that right?
Yes,
Great. Great. We're about to send you a list of homes, but just wanted to confirm that you're looking for like 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Is that right?
yes, 3 or 4 rooms.
Okay. Is there any specific areas or neighborhoods you'd like us to focus search on?
No, not really. I just need a place.
Just need a place. Do you have a budget in mind that you'd like us to respect?
What's the least amount that, I can have to do whatever.
It really depends on how much you could be able to pay. Are you looking to pay cash or have you been pre-approved?
I don't, well, I only have like, I don't know how much, just for the head house, right? Or, well,
This is a home for sale. How much is your like monthly budget that you could pay?
15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, we do have a lending team that can provide you with some programs like zero down payment and lower interest rates. Are you open to speaking with our lender as well?
Yes, yes.
Great. And are you thinking about moving maybe in the next 3 to 6 months?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so let's speak first with our lender so she can better see what you can qualify for you to buy home. Would you mind holding on for a second? I'll try to connect you with our lender right now.
Okay.
All right, hold on 1 second, please. Thank you.
Okay, so we actually, I think this might turn out to be a lender live transfer.
That's a video of the system, right? Be able to connect the lenders right away with someone that raise their hand and say, yeah, hoping to have a conversation with the lender right now.
That's right. If they answer. If they don't answer, then we're going to default back to the agent.
Hi, hold on. Thanks so much for waiting. I got here.
Yes, I'm here.
She will take over responsibility for everything.
Okay. Thank you. Hello. Hi, how's it going? It's going all right. Good. Do you have a few minutes to talk, or would you like to set up a time to do a quick conference call? Well,
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Do you have a few minutes to talk, or do you want to set up a time?
Yeah. So they're already on the phone. they're already there. Come on. They're already here on the phone. Yes, they have a few minutes to talk. It's like sometimes my wife looks at me and says, "Do you love me?" I'm like, come on, I got 2 kids, I got 2 houses with you, I got a dog. I mean, come on. Yeah, I love you. Come on. If they're on the
same
phone,
question.
if they're on the phone, then yes, they have a few minutes to talk.
Hi, hold on. Thanks so much for waiting. I got here.
yes, I'm here.
She will take over responsibility for everything.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, Hilda. Hello. Hi, how's your day going? It's going all right. Good. Do you have a few minutes to talk, or would you like to set up a time to do a quick conversation call? Well, we can set up a time.
Now, I will say, if someone sounds like they're in a bad spot, if someone sounds like they're in a bad area, then one thing that you can default to is now a great time. It sounds like you're in insert something, because then they'll say, yes, I'm actually like trying to get out of the DMV, or yes, I'm trying to do this. I mean, there's a million different things that people are doing, and so that's a great softener to segue and ask if is now really a good time. You don't want to sound like silly, and is now a good time to talk on the phone? Well, what do you think I'm doing? I'm on the phone with you. Hey, is now still a good time to connect? It sounds like you're in a tunnel, or sounds like you're driving. It sounds like you're walking out the door. It sounds like you're fighting your kids, or I got little ones myself. Insert whatever it sounds like. And then people will empathize with that, because they're like, oh, yeah, you can hear what's going on in my world. That's good. Because I'll tell you what really ticks me off is when my kids are screaming in the background and the salesperson is still trying to push and talk, and he's pretending as if he can't hear my two screaming kids right behind me. That's just my personal experience.
Okay,
Do you have an office there in town? I'm sorry.
ma'am?
Do you have an office in Fairfield?
Yes, I do. Now, unfortunately, I will not have the availability for next week. I am working out of town.
Okay, so immediately talking about availability.
However, we can do it on the phone if you want to do it sooner.
Well, I can wait till next week.
Okay, how's Wednesday, Ms. Hilda?
Okay, yes, what time?
So, I mean, okay.
Okay. Morning, does that work for you?
Yes,
Okay, so how's 10:30?
okay, that's fine. What's your, address?
Yes, let me grab your phone number. I'm gonna set the appointment
All right, see, I told you guys.
up, and it's gonna have all the details sent to you in the appointment setup. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Yes. Can I have your phone number?
910-644.
No details there. And that's unnecessary, because your assistant should already have that information provided to you. Okay, so I would grade this on a scale 1 to 5. I would grade this, I'd say a 2. I'd say a 2. I didn't hear anything about rapport. I didn't hear anything about what are you looking for, what you're interested in, which I get that this was a lender transfer, but there was not even like a, who are you? How long you been here? Are you new to the area? None of that. It was all logistics. Did you guys feel that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, this is we don't grade to punish or anything like that. We grade to get better. I use the analogy of spaghetti on your face. If you're at a networking event and you got spaghetti on your face and no one tells you they got spaghetti on your face, you talk to 20 people and it gets real awkward. And you could, insert spaghetti, insert booger, whatever you want to say. But if you're saying the wrong things over and over again, we have no idea that it's actually us when we've been blaming the circumstances or the lead or the person or the system or the source, right? When we could definitely work on having a better connection with these guys, because these are strangers. We heard from Josh on this. You remember this? Josh said, he was like, what did he say specifically? He said, it's almost like these guys don't want to reach out to their real estate friends. It's like they want to talk to a stranger. Right?
Yeah.
And so to me, that was cold. That was a little cold. What did you guys get?
I thought it defeats the purpose of the live transfer call. And the reason and what I mean by that is that you're getting introduced to someone who doesn't know you. And just like we said before the call, the purpose of that particular moment is to build a rapport so that you can get in front of them and have a higher ratio to convert that business. You know? But if you go straight into booking another call, we could have done that before we set up the lead transfer.
Mhm.
You know, and that moment right there, maybe that opportunity, because nothing happened to give that person a trust to show up to that call, to that appointment afterwards.
That's what I was just gonna say. What are the odds that they're going to be on the next if there was no and again it's easy to Monday morning quarterback, but if there was no connection, like you said, there was no real connection with that person, no common ground, there it's easy to just blow off that call.
Yeah, nothing happened. And that person can be connected to another agent today that took the effort to build a little rapport. And now they feel a lot more comfortable showing up to that person's call. Just because they took 5 minutes to say, hey, how's your day going? You know, what brought you out here today? I know you're interested in having real estate. Learning, well, you want to buy it, but what's the reason behind you buying? You know, what's your motivation by purchasing a home today? Looking into that, learning a little bit more about them, and then, hey, this is not a good time. Maybe we can connect personally next week at a time that works best for you. But at least you're building some type of rapport in that process and building that trust for them to show up to the next call. Because if that didn't happen here today, I saw no guarantee that they're showing up to the next call. And I may be wrong. Hopefully, I am completely wrong, right? But from the outside perspective, I personally did not see anything that could, okay, I trust this person. I'm going to show up and have the next conversation.
Yeah. Now, also, this is a market. I know Fayetteville very well. I actually used to live in Fayetteville. There are, believe it or not, still properties in the 150 to 250. I mean, they're not the best, but they're out there. You know, I mean, just like Heather, you know, in your market, there's parts in the county that you can still get away with a pretty halfway decent house for a pretty decent price if you don't mind the commute. So you know, Heather, and you make a good point about hindsight's 2020. Jesse makes this joke. How many real estate agents does it take to close a deal? One, and then 99 to tell you how you could have done it differently.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. And you know, I'll admit this person was very cold as well. They were not very. I mean, they were responsive. They're responsive, but they were cold. And if someone's responsive, and if we get them pre-approved and we submit an offer this weekend after seeing a few houses, and even if it's at a low 200,000, and we make $6,000 or $5,000 off of that one transaction, you know, this is something that I've seen, unfortunately, in the industry. Andres, you asked me this question the other day, like where are agents getting it wrong? And it's figuring out that the hourly amount of time that they're spending, and if you're doing 120K a year or 150 or 180 or 200K a year, like, yeah, do whatever you know, just focus on whatever's in front of you, you know, whatever comes up to the surface. But if you're not at that level, if you're not where you want to be financially, you know, you're not at the point where you can cherry pick and, you know, and just, do you want to buy a house? No. Click. You're not there yet. And so it's almost like self-sabotage. Like, I hate to see it. You know, I see it in this industry. I've been doing this now for 10 years. And it's a little disheartening. Anyways, so on the upside here, what are some positive things that we can do next time? Number one, she mentioned she doesn't know what she can afford, but she mentioned around 1,600. Okay, that to me, I heard DTI. Most people dedicate around a third of their income. I've listened to thousands of these calls, and believe it or not, a lot of people who are deciding on whether to rent or buy in markets like Fayetteville, where, again, there's places like anywhere that are ritzy, and then there are places that are less ritzy. But there's opportunity out here. There's opportunity here. And treating this person like they matter next time, treating them like they're a friend, you know, like, girl, what's got you moving down here? How long you been here? You know, what are we doing next week? Are we getting coffee? You know, that person mentioned an address. Like, this person's willing to actually go to your office. That, to me, it seems like they're pretty qualified. There's a lot of intention there, right? And in a place, now, if this was San Diego, I get it. You know,
That's
maybe.
1,600 in San Diego. Can't even get you a shed over there.
You can't even.
That's like a $400,000 square feet studio or bedroom that you're renting from somebody.
Yeah.
But I think there's positive in there. That person is open to having a conversation. She's willing and was ready to talk at the moment. I think there's an opportunity for either the loan officer or the agent to reach back and say, hey, you know, I know we talked to my lender, we set up an appointment for next week. I just wanted to understand more of your situation and try to have a conversation and build that rapport and build that confidence, and maybe set up that appointment with the agent a little bit sooner to get a more perspective and a wider range of where they at, and bring that information over to the lending partner, and have some rapport before that call, the schedule appointment. So there's an opportunity there for the agent to reach out and start building that relationship.
And I always gave them something. Like when you're getting off the phone, even if they're like, I can't talk, it's a busy time, like Sean, your kids were screaming in the background, and I would be like, totally understand, Sean, not a good time. Just so you know, before we get off the phone, I'm going to be sending you, and then I tell them what it is, whether it's the buyer's guide, if they're like a first time buyer, or if it's an application, if they were rent to own, or if I'm putting them up on an email list. The email list will, you know, be on the lookout for that. And then it gives you the opportunity to then set up the call in between now and the appointment. So you can call and be like, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you got the stuff I sent over. What'd you think of it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And warming them up to the opportunity, keeping them top of mind. Now, I will say one thing I absolutely love from here, you always book a meeting from a meeting.
Yeah.
You absolutely book the meeting. I mean, now, you know, you gotta have, when you have a cold appointment like that, there's a high probability it's going to be a no-show. It's going to be a no-show. It's going to be a no call or no show up. You know, if they schedule at the office, and that's why, in fact, we're gonna bring this up next Friday. We're gonna do this on Friday, and I'm gonna end this in 60 seconds. Next Friday, we're gonna do the 7 beliefs that we have to understand about our prospect before.
7 points of clarity.
Yes, to avoid getting ghosted, because the thing is, if that person doesn't show up on the next call or the next meeting, and we don't know why, then we just think of it as a dud lead. When in fact, that person's gonna buy eventually with someone, and there's no such thing as a missed opportunity.
It just went to somebody else.
Yep.
It just went to someone else. Exactly. All right, guys, anything to add? I think this was a great day. Great.
I think so. Man, I'm loving these meetings every day of the week. I think us focusing on one particular topic, one particular area, we getting to dive deeper into those areas, put content out here for agents and communities. I'm loving this, so just keep it going.
Let's go.
Speaking of that, Sean, when do you have time to kind of sit down and go over stuff with me?
Yes. Let's look at the calendar real quick.
We still have the live stream, right?
I'm gonna end the live stream. So bye guys.
Cool. See ya. Let's go ahead and end this.